I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Let people do what they want. Hey guys, did you know that Vtubers have reached their inevitable conclusion? Because I didn't know that. Here's an article from Polygon.com. Well, quote-unquote respected media site. If you can't guess... Oh, you saw this article too? Yeah, I saw the article. I decided I'm going to cover it. I haven't actually read it, but I've seen some people reacting to it, or they gave their thoughts on it. And I figured, yeah, I think I want to cover it too. Twitch has always allowed for various forms of expression, so it was no surprise when VTubing found a home on the platform, quickly gaining popularity among English-speaking audiences in 2019. Since then, the novelty of avatar-based content may have worn off, citation needed, but the format has stuck around. And VTubing agencies, which continue to introduce new talent and offer one of the more financially secure methods of pursuing this sort of content, are still holding on in an attempt to harness new talent. Vtubing exploded onto the wider North American and European markets when Cover Corporation launched the English branch of Hololive Production in 2020. Hololive's English debut saw the introduction of long-standing talents in the English community, such as the extremely popular Gargura, the most subscribed to Hololive talent to date, and Ninome Inanis. I nailed that name. Even high-profile content creators like Pokimane pivoted towards using digital avatars weeks after Hololive's first generation of English-speaking talents debuted. Brands, too, remember the Tony the Tiger VTuber in August 2020? Pepperidge Farm remembers. Please don't be a dead link. Yeah. Apparently Tony did like one stream and then fucking graduated. And by graduated, I mean they didn't do it anymore. And I do remember when Pokimane got a VTuber model. Clout chasing backlash. That's fucking funny to me. Pokimane was called a clout chaser for appealing to a niche audience. Tony couldn't handle the furries? Yeah, that's actually true. True. Many creators have jumped on the trend. Many creators that jumped on the trend have since stopped using their avatars, but at the start of COVID-19 pandemic, there was a large increase in VTubers on Twitch and other streaming platforms like YouTube as models and equipment became more accessible to the general public. Twitch has since gone on to highlight a wide variety of VTubers through its VTuber Takeover promotion, which also gets hijacked a lot by flesh tubers like XQC, which most recently ran in August. Twitch also reported that VTubing-related content on the platform shot up by some 350% between January and August 2022. Despite this, some have argued that the VTuber bubble has all but burst. You know, VTubers that have hundreds of thousands, some even millions of subscribers. Yeah, that's totally dead and dying and not fuck off, Kotaku, and not at all going to be sticking around for the long term. What the fuck is this? Oh yeah, it's Kotaku saying that the VTuber bubble has burst. Yeah. Kotaku with the non-delusional takes. Yeah, right? I do feel that VTubing has become less novel as the market has become more saturated, says a streamer with agency Niji Sanji, who is not approved to speak publicly. Ooh, private. Anonymous. There are obviously some stir-ups and downs when it comes to working with an agency as well, which requires a lot of patience if I'm honest. And there are some decisions that are made that sometimes don't make a lot of sense. Yeah, that's also something that people don't really think about. Going corporate with your VTubing doesn't necessarily mean you get to do the kind of content you want to do. Sometimes if you're with Niji-Sanji or Hololive, you're there to play their character, not your own character. You're there to make content through their lens, not your own. You can put a little bit of your own spin on it, but ultimately it's the agency's decision. At least if I'm understanding things correctly. Excuse me. Agencies for VTubers manage their talents, often assigning them a manager that helps organize interviews, collaborations, paid promotions, and add content on stream. Sometimes they can be financial advisors, but that is not always the case, as money made through agencies may include subscription or merchandise sales. Yeah, that's kind of a bother for me with going like the Niji-Sanji or Hololive route. Like, you're not going to be getting all the money yourself. It's largely it's going to the corporation that you're working for. Kind of why I prefer to be indie. It's all coming to me. All that money. I don't even get ad revenue yet. The source at Niji-Sanji notes that all talents within the agency are under non-disclosure agreements, which prevents them from sharing information with their audiences that could compromise their identity, or even inform viewers on why they could be graduating, which is effectively retirement for VTubers. It's retirement of that specific persona or character. So like fucking Mr. Rias had graduated from Niji-Sanji, and that character is effectively retired. But there just happens to be somebody for V Shoujo under the name K9 Kuro that, you know, just happens to be very similar to Mista. But they're definitely totally not the same person. Don't worry about it. There's totally not Minecraft leaks proving that they're the same person. God, I should have covered the K9 Kuro stuff. Or the Matara shit. God, really. Some agencies like Hololive and Niji-Sanji shut down entire branches or graduate talents without any real kind of information is heartbreaking for just about everyone involved in the process. Yeah, like, whether or not it's a legit reason, it's still going to piss off the audience. It's going to upset them because people get attached to your talents, Hololive and Niji-Sanji, and then when you just kind of graduate them without... Graduation could be the talent themselves are leaving the company for personal reasons, or they're getting fired. We don't know. That's kind of why it's shitty that it's just referred to as graduations. It should be a little more transparent, in my opinion. In 2020, Hololive shuttered its Chinese division, graduating more than a handful of streamers. I believe this was all sparked because of Kirio Coco had mentioned Taiwan, and that pissed off the Chinese fans. So that's the context for that one. More recently, Niji-Sanji announced the abrupt graduation of one of its more prominent talents, Mr. Rias. He revealed that his choice to leave Niji-Sanji was due to burnout, and in August, the parent company of Hololive, Cover Corporation, announced that 2 talents would be graduating from its Holostars division barely a year after debuting. I didn't know about that one. Vesper Nemoir and Magni Desmond. I don't know those 2. I should probably keep up with a lot more of the corporate stuff, shouldn't I? In some cases, VTubers are not given a choice and can be graduated prematurely, though the agency itself never specifies. Part of why I really, really hate how they just hide it with just calling it graduation rather than, you know, saying that, hey, we're terminating this person, or hey, this person is leaving by their own free will. Yeah, you should if you can. A big part of it is I don't watch a lot of the corpo VTubers, because I'm gonna be real, most of the corpo VTubers don't put out commentary content. That's the kind of content that's my bread and butter. I love it so much, but like, the majority of stuff is catch them live while they're doing a just chatting segment or watching them play games, and I don't care about watching people play games. This kind of sucks since they want to use idle terms. Yeah, I mean, VTubers are spawned off of what's it? Idol culture. It is heavily influenced by idol culture. Independent VTuber Nagami Mugi feels as though corporate VTubing is still a viable avenue for those looking to make a career out of the medium that can support content creation full-time. Yes, I would say that agencies are still a viable avenue for those that actually do want to go the corpo route. Just be absolutely sure of who you're joining up with. You don't want to accidentally sign up with like Akio Air. I think VTubing content has become kind of stale, she says. She goes on to mention a lot of VTubers tend to be boxed into specific kinds of content, playing Minecraft or popular FPS games like Valorant. In order for VTubing to continue to grow, VTubers need to branch out and create more content in line with other influencers. Hey, VTubers, do more React content, do more commentaries, talk about your favorite things, and just rant about it for 10 minutes. Put that out in a video. People will watch it. Trust me, I'm doing it. Mugi says that if VTubers took clues from other content creators and explored options like lore analysis videos or short form reviews, the scene wouldn't be as stagnant. And I agree. Most people just want to play their video games and that's it. And like, good, if you want to do that, there's nothing inherently wrong with it. You're just not going to be able to stand out with it. That's the big issue, at least in my opinion. You want to really stand out, right? Like, that's how you get noticed. Where was I? And like other VTubers, Mugi has dreams of going corporate. Already relatively successful, having created her own storefront that hosts collaborations and merchandise featuring other VTubers and artists, she has auditioned for several major agencies. She says that one agency asked if she would close down her business if she passed the interview phase and became one of its talents. Ooh, that's rude. Like, she's working hard at setting up her own storefront and stuff, and this major agency is like, yeah, but if you sign with us, we wouldn't want you to do that. You got to make all your money through us only. You can't have your own thing on the side. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Let people do what they want, especially when they're not doing it as your character that they're playing for your corporation. Yeah, that's really more of a streamer problem, really. Yeah. This isn't entirely uncommon, as the source from Nijisanji mentions that some talents have been given strict restrictions as to what content they can and can't create once their contracts with the agency expire. Wait, what? This isn't entirely uncommon, as the source from Nijisanji mentions that some talents have been given strict restrictions of what they can't do after their contract with the agency expires. No, like, after your contract expires from the agency, they don't get to fucking control you anymore. Why is that happening? I don't like this. However, this can be very different between, this can vary between talents and what is agreed upon between both the talent and the agency itself. So while agencies can be viable in terms of long-term growth for a creator, it is often strictly tied to the avatar associated with said agency. I mean, yeah, but it did help that there are still people that will carry across the platforms. Like, there are hardcore fans that will follow along. Like, there was that whole remember what they took from you crowd with the graduation of Pikami. And then that narrative changed to remember what they couldn't take from you when Henya debuted. I'm just saying. People figure it out. It's the internet. You can't hide anything for it. You can't hide anything forever. Come on, be real. So while agencies can both be viable in terms of long-term... Oh, I read that. Both Hololive and Nijisanji give creators very little freedom in terms of presentation, whereas newer agencies such as Idol allow talents to create their own concepts. I don't know Idol. I should probably figure out about them more. While that may feel overwhelming to some, it allows for talents behind these models to flex their creativity and create a persona that otherwise wouldn't fit neatly into the cleanly defined boxes some agencies slot them into. Agencies should allow for talents to experiment so long as it isn't hurting anyone. I fully agree with that sentiment. Says the source, let people fail and still have the opportunity for growth in the future. More risk-taking and trying to branch out in other ways instead of simply just streaming or following pre-established methods. Yeah, it's people playing safe in order to attempt to grow, but that's not how you get those wildly viral shit. You don't get viral off of doing the same thing as everybody else. You gotta find ways to be unique, to do it your own way, put your own spin on it. Come on, we're all fucking main characters from anime, aren't we? And how do you stand out doing that? It's damn near impossible with the models these days. Like, everybody's a fucking anime character. For me, it's the content. That's what gets me growing. It's not my design specifically, I don't think. According to both of the people we interviewed for this story, this is an agreed upon sentiment that to prevent further stagnation, this not so niche form of content creation needs to reinvent itself and allow more freedom to its talents. Time will tell if larger agencies like Hololive, which reported 50% growth in its 2023 financial report, and Nijisanji will allow their talents to break the mold. I don't personally think that Hololive or Nijisanji will really let their talents break the mold. What I think would happen, or what I think is more likely to happen, is that there would be indie VTubers that are doing the mold breaking. And then when the bigger talent or the bigger agencies see that mold breaking and seeing it popping off, then they'll be like, okay, yeah, our talent can do that too. Though I do hear a lot of sentiment that the corpo talents are free to do whatever they wish, but I also don't fully believe that. Like, it would be pretty cool if the bigger corpo talents would, like, you know, talk about this stuff publicly. Like, I love saying like a lot, don't I? I do. There's a lot of talent that they could be doing a lot more variety in their content, but they don't really need to branch out very much. Like, look at the Hololive talents. They're doing pretty fucking well, the big ones anyways. I should really start keeping track of talents, the VTuber talents, agencies a lot more. I believe next stream I do want to go over the state of VShojo. That'll be a fun one. Give me a chance to talk about the 3 talents that have joined ever since VShojo had lost Silverveil, Nyanners, and Vebe. Now, I'd argue that they have more freedom than we think. I would think that, let's just go with Mori Calliope, for example. I think Calliope is fairly free. God, frog in my throat. Is fairly free to do what she likes. But then there's some things that just, I don't think she would be allowed to, I don't know, talk about Taiwan openly, or talk about like anything political, no matter how lightly political topics even get. It's tricky. I don't personally know any corporate VTubers, so I don't really have any insights there. I do know that VTubing itself, it's a medium. It's not a genre. You make the kind of content that you just want to make. It doesn't matter if it's just playing games. Doesn't matter if it's commentary shit. You just make the stuff that you want to see more of in the world. That's why I've gotten into commentary content. Yeah. Like, God damn it. That whole goddamn Taiwan situation with HoloLive, or the China situation, where Kiryu Coco had literally only read the name Taiwan off of like a Google response or a Google search result, and then the Chinese fan base got super duper mad over that. Yeah, we need more VTubers trying to branch out of the normal. A lot of the smaller indies just see the success of the bigger VTubers and they're like, I want that success for myself. How do I achieve it? I'm going to do what they do. And that's not bad to start off with, but if you're only sticking to that kind of stuff, then that's where the problem comes in. If you're not branching out of your content, you're not finding ways to improve it, how can you really expect to grow? Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe for more content, and if you want to join the community, feel free to check out the Discord. I love to voice chat in there, so if you want to ever talk, I'm usually available. Well, in the afternoons.